Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is the tutorial video to the trick you may have seen yesterday, and here's the instructions. I'm going to share them with you now.
The Great Woo, the Great Woo Ding, the Great Woo Ding's gonna do a thing.
Right, here's my instructions that I wrote for myself, and it's just the setup. And the setup is thus: you need a top stock. We're in chased order. Chased order. Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. Chased. Chased. There you go. Helpful to some people, really unhelpful to dyslexic people. Never mind. Right, what you do is you place the kings, if you want to, pre-ordered in the pack in that order. So when you go through, you predict them in that order. So have King of Clubs near the face of the pack, a bit deeper have the King of Hearts, a bit deeper still have the King of Spades, and last but not least have the King of Diamonds from the face to the top. Then have your queens. Again, put them in chased order. I'll do it from your perspective and make it really difficult for me. Chased. But then you kind of make them a bit backwards a little bit. So you want on the top the Queen of Clubs, but then reverse these three. Oof, yeah, put them the other way around. Obviously, that's how you reverse the middle one, is by leaving it there. So your top stock is Queen of Clubs, Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Spades, Queen of Hearts. Yes? Top stock, Queen of Clubs, Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Spades, Queen of Hearts. And that goes on the top of your pack. And you're good to go. There you go. That's the instructions. Here's how to perform the effect. Go through and say you're going to make some predictions, and if you've placed your kings in the right place, you just get them out. You can do any amount of false shuffles you like, or if you don't mind getting them out in the wrong order and then putting them into the right order, you could do a top stock retention shuffle. I'm sure I've got one somewhere. I'll leave a link to one if I've got one there. Or you could do any number of false shuffles or false cuts. Check out my Zorro cut. Act like you don't care about it. Yeah, and there you go. That's my favourite false cuts. Or if you want to check out my playlist of shuffles, cuts and sleights, where you could find some informative ones and some amusing ones, check out that playlist there. Shuffles, cuts and sleights, or in the description. But getting on with this then, you could do fake shuffles if you so desired, and then you could go through and say, I'm going to make some predictions. You pull out the king, look like you're thinking about it. Yeah, that one. Maybe I'll have that one, and possibly even, is this funny, taking out the wrong one and going, no, change your mind, and getting the last king. I don't know. Do that if you like. And look, they're in chased order from the magician's perspective. You've got chased. Great. Now you want to transfer your top stock of queens to be a bottom stock of queens. Oof. And the way I did it awkwardly in the video is I misdirected you, possibly, and talked about these kings whilst I did a pinky count. If you want to learn how to do the pinky count, click this video here. Actually, you won't learn it there, but it's mildly amusing. Go and have a look at my pinky count video. It'll be somewhere. So do a pinky count of 4 cards. Let them fall off your little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do that while pointing to these if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll help you know that you've got 4 if you can feel one flick off your finger when you point to each of these cards. And say, what you're going to do in a minute is make 4 piles. Your first pile, you just take everything on top of that break now, which is the 4 queens. Don't tell them that though. Put your 4 queens there, put another few cards there, put another few cards there, and put some cards there, leaving some in your hand, because you're kind of conditioning them to what's going to happen later as you explain the trick. And saying that they are going to determine the amount of cards in each pile or each podium, because we're going to put the kings on their podiums and then gather them back up. Do your gathering from your right as the magician, from your right to your left. Okay, so these are random cards, these are random cards, these are random cards, these are random cards. That's your bottom stock. Great, you need that. There you go. You've now put your queens, hopefully, there they are on the bottom. Yeah, right. And they're in this order now: Queen of Hearts, Queen of Spades, Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Clubs. Great. Now, to begin the effect, you now have to transfer, sorry about this, that bottom queen to the top. Leave 3 of them on the bottom, but take 1 to the top in any manner you like. I'm doing the simplest thing I can think of, which is a double undercut. I think, is it? No, it's not. I don't know. I'll explain what I'm doing. Here's what I'm doing. I'm getting a break on that bottom card, and I am swing cutting a portion of cards. I'm adding this bottom queen to that, and then cutting the rest to the bottom. Is that a double undercut? I don't know, but that's the move I'm doing, which puts the King of Hearts to the top. Then say, I'm going to deal, you say stop. And of course, they can stop you after 1 card if you want, because that's it, you're done. It doesn't matter where they stop, because all you care about is that card that you've put down, which of course is going to end up on top of this one later. Well, it doesn't matter where they stop. So they're going to say stop there on the 9 of clubs. There you go. That was good, wasn't it? 9 of clubs. It doesn't matter, because that's not where this king's going to come face to face with. No. This pile determines what that king's going to come face to face with. His queen. Same again here. So maybe get them to put the king on that podium, and whilst they're putting that king on the podium, you can do the move of moving the bottom card to the top, which is now the Queen of Spades. Same again. You start dealing, your job's done. It doesn't matter where they say stop. Place their card on. As they place their card on, you do the move again and transfer the bottom card to the top, and do it again. They say stop. Wherever they like, you just deal. They say stop. As they put it on, you do nothing. You don't do it this time. Don't do a cut. You're in the right place. Okay? Don't do it. Because they might think, even if they've noticed, a magician might notice that you're doing a double undercut every time, and this time you don't. And they'll be like, you've messed up the trick. But you haven't, because you want to keep this queen here, because that queen's going on that king in a minute. So you finish dealing up that pile, and of course on the bottom of that there is no queen, because that's the bottom of the pack. You don't need to worry about that one. And the king goes on. So you're finally left with this setup. Nothing on the bottom of that one, but the Queen of Diamonds is on the bottom of this one. The Queen of Spades is on the bottom of this one. The Queen of Hearts is on the bottom of this one. And the Queen of Clubs is on the bottom of the cards in your hand. Crucial now that you don't gather them up the way you did earlier, but you gather them up the other way. Put the Queen of Clubs on top of the King of Clubs. So gather them as from your perspective, from left to right. And the trick's done. There you go. All you have to do now is spread and show that the magic's worked. You could even do it like this if you wanted to. That might be cleaner. Say, look, there's a king with the card on top. There's the next king with the card on top. There's another king with a card on top. And the last king, of course, has come face to face with that card. That might be better than spreading, actually. Do what you like. And in theory, if you followed all the steps correctly, your kings will have found their queens. There you go. If that didn't make sense, watch it again. If it still didn't make sense, watch it again. And if it still doesn't make sense, maybe the video's wrong, and you can say a comment saying, Mark, you've explained it wrong. But I think it's right, because it's worked. Right, I'm going now. There you go. There's a little effect that I scribbled down on a piece of paper. use it if you want. I have been Mark Wooding, or the Great. Oh, and if you do know the names of these queens, also let me know, because that's annoying me as well. I don't know who they are. Let me know down below. I have been Mark Wooding, or the Great Woo.
The Great Woo, the Great Woo Ding, the Great Woo Ding just did a thing.